Have you ever felt like someone was reading your mind, knowing your thoughts before you even spoke them? This eerie feeling is what we call telepathy, a concept that has both intrigued and baffled mankind for centuries. It's the supposed ability to communicate thoughts directly from one mind to another, bypassing the need for words or signals. It's like a secret language, a silent conversation happening between two minds. Telepathy is often classified into two types: receptive and expressive. Receptive telepathy is the ability to pick up thoughts from another person, much like tuning into a radio station. On the other hand, expressive telepathy is the ability to send thoughts to another person, similar to broadcasting a signal. It's not just about reading minds, but also about projecting thoughts. But there's more to it. Telepathy can also be spontaneous or deliberate. Natural telepathy refers to those unexpected moments when you just happen to pick up someone else's thoughts. On the other hand, experimental telepathy involves deliberate attempts to induce telepathic experiences in controlled settings, much like a scientist in a lab. And this enigmatic ability has been the subject of countless debates and controversies. Is it real, or is it just a figment of our overactive imaginations? Some argue that telepathy is a dormant skill lying latent within us, waiting to be awakened. Others dismiss it as pure fantasy, a product of wishful thinking and fanciful daydreams. Intriguingly, telepathy isn't just a topic for psychics and paranormal enthusiasts. Even the secret services have taken an interest in it. Rumors swirl around their use of gaze detection techniques to avoid being noticed. It's like a high-stakes game of hide and seek, a dance of gazes and glances. So is telepathy just a figment of our imagination, or is there more to it? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the enigma of telepathy, exploring the evidence for and against it, and revealing some fascinating secrets along the way. Many claim to have experienced telepathy, but can these claims hold up under scientific scrutiny? The answer to this question isn't as straightforward as you might think. Exploring the realm of telepathy, we find numerous anecdotal reports. These range from feeling someone's gaze upon you, to knowing who's on the other end of the line before picking up the phone, or even sensing another person's thoughts and emotions. But as fascinating as these accounts may be, they alone cannot serve as definitive proof of telepathy. They could simply be chalked up to coincidence, intuition, or subconscious cues. To move beyond the anecdotal and into the realm of scientific proof, researchers have devised various experiments. These tests often involve tasks such as card guessing, picture drawing, or even trying to establish brain-to-brain communication. And the results, well, they've been mixed, but some studies have suggested that telepathy might indeed be possible under certain conditions. Take, for instance, a 2014 study led by psychiatrist Carl Grau. Grau and his team conducted an experiment that aimed to demonstrate brain-to-brain communication via the internet. In the study, a person in India thought of the words hola or xiao, and without uttering a word, typing a message, or making a visible signal, these words were communicated to people in Spain. The information was transmitted across vast distances, with the internet serving as the conduit connecting the minds of the participants. This study suggested that, at least under these specific conditions, telepathy could indeed be possible. Yet, it's important to note that While these results are intriguing, they aren't without their critics. There are those within the scientific community who argue that such experiments often suffer from methodological flaws and that there's no plausible mechanism that could explain how telepathy works. But for now, let's keep an open mind. After all, isn't it the mysteries that make our world so wonderfully complex and endlessly captivating? While these results are intriguing, they aren't without their critics. Skepticism is healthy in science, and telepathy is no exception. As we delve into the world of telepathy, it's crucial to remember that science at its core is about questioning, investigating, and persistently seeking answers. The realm of telepathy is rife with criticisms and skeptics, and for good reason. There are plenty of objections to the concept of telepathy. Many of these objections revolve around the methodology of the experiments conducted to prove the existence of telepathy. Critics argue that these experiments often lack proper controls, have low statistical power, or suffer from selective reporting. In other words, they claim that the experiments are not rigorous enough and that their findings could easily be due to chance or bias. Beyond these methodological concerns, there's a more fundamental issue. Telepathy, as it's commonly understood, seems to violate the known laws of physics and biology. After all, how could thoughts, which we know are the product of physical processes in the brain, be transferred directly from one mind to another without any physical medium? To many scientists, this seems implausible, if not impossible. Furthermore, there's the problem of replicability. In science, for a finding to be considered reliable, it must be repeatable by other researchers. However, many claimed instances of telepathy are one-off occurrences that can't be reliably reproduced. These factors, among others, have led a significant portion of the scientific community to label telepathy as pseudoscience. This term is used to describe claims, beliefs, or practices that are presented as scientific but lack the necessary evidential backing or methodological rigor. It's important to note, however, that this isn't a universal consensus. As we've seen, there are researchers who believe they've found evidence for telepathy and who continue to investigate the phenomenon. Science is a process, and our understanding of the world is constantly evolving. The scientific community remains divided, but what about the secret services? If telepathy isn't real, how do the secret services avoid detection? That's a question that has sparked much intrigue and speculation. One of the techniques they use is gaze detection, a method that can create the illusion of telepathy. What is gaze detection, you ask? Well, it's a technique that involves analyzing where a person is looking, using this information to predict what they might do next. The secret services have been known to use gaze detection in field operations, as it allows them to anticipate the actions of their targets and adjust their strategy accordingly. Imagine this scenario. A secret agent is trailing a target in a crowded marketplace. By keeping a close eye on the target's gaze, the agent can predict if the target is about to turn a corner, stop at a stall, or even if they've spotted something suspicious. This gives the agent the upper hand, enabling them to react swiftly and blend seamlessly into the crowd. But gaze detection isn't just about observing physical movement. It's also about interpreting subtle cues and body language. For instance, rapid eye movement could indicate nervousness, while a steady gaze might suggest focus and determination. By reading these signals, agents can gain insights into a target's emotional state, intentions, and even their next move. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just good old-fashioned observation? What has it got to do with telepathy? Well, the connection lies in the perception to an untrained observer, the ability of an agent to anticipate a target's actions might appear almost supernatural, like they're reading their mind, but in reality, it's all down to skilled observation and interpretation. Of course, gaze detection is just one tool in the Secret Service's arsenal. They also employ a host of other techniques like behavioral profiling and advanced surveillance technology. These methods, combined with their intensive training, allow them to stay one step ahead, maintaining their veil of invisibility. While these techniques aren't telepathy, they can certainly feel like it. So, the next time you feel like you're being watched, or someone seems to know your next move before you do, remember, it might not be telepathy, but it could well be the work of a skilled observer using gaze detection. So, is telepathy real or just a fascinating fantasy? This question has been a point of debate for centuries, and we find ourselves still grappling with its answer today. What we have explored together in this discussion is the enigma of telepathy, a concept shrouded in mystery, intrigue, and controversy. The concept of telepathy, the direct transference of thought, challenges our understanding of human communication. It introduces us to the idea of receptive and expressive telepathy and the possibility of these experiences occurring spontaneously or under experimental conditions. It's a concept that captivates our imagination, pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible. We delved into the evidence for telepathy with anecdotal reports and scientific experiments suggesting its existence. From the uncanny feeling of being watched to knowing who is calling before the phone rings, personal experiences of telepathy are widespread. Scientific experiments too, like the 2014 study by psychiatrist Carl Grau, have yielded intriguing results, suggesting that telepathic communication might be possible under certain conditions. But for every argument in favor of telepathy, there is a counter-argument. Critics of telepathy question the methodology of existing experiments, pointing out the lack of controls, low statistical power, and selective reporting. They argue that there is no credible mechanism that could explain the functioning of telepathy, as it seems to contradict established laws of physics and biology. In the eyes of many scientists, telepathy remains a pseudoscience, a captivating idea yet to be proven. We also explored the intriguing connection between gaze detection and the Secret Services. This technique, used to avoid detection, adds another layer to the complexity of nonverbal communication and further fuels the debate on telepathy. After all this exploration, the verdict on telepathy remains elusive. It's a subject that continues to divide opinion, with compelling arguments on both sides. The existence of telepathy is not yet a fact, but neither is it entirely dismissed. The mystery of telepathy continues to fascinate us, inviting us to keep exploring the untapped potentials of the human mind.